All right, guys, I will try to keep this real brief. I want to get you back to your families. So I'm Owen's dad, also known as Dr. David Kalowski. My wife and I, we run Inside Health. It's a clinic here in Loveland, and we were honored to be named the nutritionist of the year at the end of last year. So we know a thing or two about nutrition. That's why Coach wanted me to talk to you guys. But I also know something about athletics. In college, I was a Division I football player for the University of Nebraska. I weighed 310 pounds back then, if you can believe it. So I lost a lot of weight, obviously. What? Oh, I got photos. Yeah, I can show you. I can show you at the end. So like I said, we know a lot about nutrition. I know a lot about athletics. My wife was also very athletic in her high school career. So we have a passion for this kind of stuff, and we want to give you like as much of a boost as we can, to help you guys just totally take over conference and take over state. Fair? All right. So what I want to go over here is just a couple just big ideas that we all have to know. So right now, the goal for everybody here in this room is to produce maximal energy output, also maximal efficiency, right? So look at the details here. So we want to have optimal conditioning, and we want to have great endurance and explosive speed, right? And so you need the right energy sources to create that kind of stuff in your body. You're not going to get there with the discount gasoline in a high performance engine. You need jet fuel, right? So we got to be really careful, really mindful of what we're putting into our bodies every day. And also that third thing, it's too late. Right now it's too late for strength building. You should have been building muscle for the whole last year up to now. It takes a long time to build muscle. In fact, like the best bodybuilders in the world put on maybe 5 pounds a year of muscle. That's not much. So your whole idea of muscle growth at this point is not relevant. You need to work on efficiency. That means maximizing the oxygen saturation utilization in every cell, means training the muscles until they just get used to this kind of workload. Like you guys are doing it. I'm just telling you why you're doing it now. Okay, so there's a couple things that are going to be big helps to you along the way. So creatine, who's taking creatine already? Awesome. Keep doing it. Um, that helps a lot with muscle recovery, helps get a lot more fluid into those muscles. When it comes to oxygen saturation in the tissues, like let's face it, this is a tough sport, considering oxygen, right? You're underwater for most of the time. So you need to have cells that can be extremely efficient utilizing oxygen. So vitamins E, C, B, there's all kinds of other foods that really help. Fish, dark green leafy vegetables, those are going to be a big help for you. So that's why I wrote that on there. All right, now let's take a look at that, fueling the speedboat. Now, this is just for like reference here. If you guys are doing 4,000 meters in a regular session, you're burning 1,000 calories just in that swim alone. That's a crazy amount of calories. So you have to factor that in on top of whatever your daily need is if you weren't doing all that work, right? You have to factor that in. And so I have it broken down here. As an athlete, you need to have a minimum of 250 grams of carbohydrates per day. Now, quality is everything. So I'm not saying go drink that many grams of carbohydrates in Coca-Cola. Do not do that. You're going to wreck yourself. You're going to hurt your liver. You're going to hurt everything. So to give you kind of some examples of what's equivalent there, 3.5 cups of dry rice, like white rice. That'd be the same as 1,000 calories. That's crazy, right? Like anybody eat that per day? Probably not. But what about 10 bananas? That's equivalent to that 1,000 calories, or 2 pounds of grapes. So I'm just saying, you need to have that kind of idea in mind, spread it over lots of different food groups throughout the day, and you're going to meet that goal. But it's very likely you're going to need even more carbohydrates because of your output beyond even what you're doing here in the pool. Okay? Now, for protein is key. And if anybody is a vegan, I'm sorry, I'm gonna make you mad with what I got to say, but you need animal protein. It's the most complex, most natural source. You're not going to be deficient in other amino acids. So to give you an idea of what's equivalent to 300 grams of protein, you'd have to eat 50 eggs. You'd have to eat over 2 pounds of ground beef or 3 pounds of chicken. Like, again, that's a lot, but you're spreading that out over all your meals all day long. Okay, so in general, you're eating probably around 5,000 or more calories per day. Back in my day when I was 310 pounds, I was eating over 7,000 calories a day. It's possible. But you're eating until you're tired. You're not eating until you're just full. You're like pushing past that point of full. Like you are just eating all the time. Okay, and finally, you want to have abundant, healthy fats. Okay, anybody aware of the whole controversy with all the fats out there, like the vegetable oils, seed oils? Yeah, you don't want to have that crap in your body. It's going to slow you down. It's going to inflame you. And I'll talk about that in the next section, actually. And then finally, electrolytes, big concept in athletics, especially. But guess what? You're wasting your money on things like Gatorade. Just put some good old sea salt in distilled water. You're going to be just fine. And that's going to be all your body needs. You're not going to have all the extra crap like the colorings and the high fructose corn syrups and whatever else. Okay, so what you need to avoid, these are going to be anchors around your ankles when you're trying to swim because you're just slowing your metabolism down. You're hurting your mitochondria. You're just inflaming your body. Like, this is not how you treat an optimal machine. Like, you got to be that jet fuel or that speedboat. So avoid the fast food. Just bar none, you have to do it. You have to avoid the ultra processed foods. Anything in the snack machines and the vending machines in the school, sorry, that's just, it's not going to cut it. Like, you got to have better options. And so, and also just, it comes down to sugar as well. We have to get rid of the ultra processed sugars and candies and sodas and syrups and those kinds of things. And I put Gatorade on there again. Like, and even like the fancy foo drinks at Starbucks with all the whipped cream and toppings and syrups. Like, that's not a coffee, that's a milkshake. Stop it. Like, if I see that in your hand, I'm going to slap it out of you. So be warned. All right, and then vegetable oils, I mentioned that again here. They're inflammatory, but they're super hard to avoid unless you're doing the cooking yourself at home. If you're going out to eat, they're everywhere. They're every fried food. They're in almost every baked food and processed food you're going to find in a package or a can. And so you have to be very mindful. You got to read labels. You got to know what you're putting into your body. All right, so let's bring it on home. Let's make it simple. How do we put this into action for you guys? So look at the bottom line. 9 weeks. What am I talking about there? Season. That's the rest of the season. You have 9 weeks. That's not a long time. But I guarantee you can do anything for 9 weeks straight. Right? If you're going to change a habit, you're going to do that for a good 9 weeks. And this is how it is. Like, if you want to maximize your guys' potential here in this season and take over conference and take over state, 9 weeks. You got that little time to do it. So let's make this simple. Buy in bulk, meaning like all the eggs, all the meat, all the stuff. You have to prepare. You can't be caught at home hungry and just be like, oh, I gotta run to McDonald's now because there's no food here. Get prepared. Who has a Sam's Club membership or Costco membership or something like that, right? Pretty much everybody. Okay, good. If you don't, find somebody else who has one and try to team up. You can go get like giant bags of chicken breasts and big boxes of hamburger patties. Like, that's awesome stuff. So be prepared. Have that ready. Like, we just cooked several pounds of beef and chicken at home just before coming here. Like, just be ready. Have that ready to go so you're not caught with your hunger and just like you have to go sacrifice yourself and go through some fast food line, right? When it comes to snacks, you're going to have snacks. You guys are, again, high performance machines. You're not going to get by with just 3 meals a day. So when it comes to snacks, whole fruits are awesome. Even taking those to your meats, having those in your bag, ready to go. So like apples are great, bananas, grapes, watermelon, just anything that's quick and easy to digest, those super powerful carbohydrates. You can even take a bowl of rice and have that in your bag at practice or at the meets. I know Owen's done that before too. And meat sticks. When it comes to meat sticks, like, we've got an option that we sell I encourage you to take a look at the label. You know, just amazing ingredients. They're not highly processed. It's not the nitrates and nitrites and all the extra additives and ingredients and preservatives and colors. Like, you want something, again, that's going to be real food that your body can actually use, that's not going to inflame you. So check that out. I even got some samples for you to try. Okay, so I know you're probably hungry. Um, let's finish on here. So prep for the week. You know, if you can dedicate your Saturday or Sunday, whenever you have a free couple of hours, and go fire up the grill and just get all that ready for the week, then you have like all this packed away in Tupperware or, you know, bags in the fridge, and you're golden. Like, that's how you get prepared to win. So start now. It takes effort. It takes preparation, but this is what it's all about. If you need a quick meal, Owen works at Chipotle, and I got this idea from him. They have these high protein cups. Have you seen these?
They're so good. That's
So
my, like, daily.
you can go in there and just get the meat alone. And I looked it up. The chicken bowl is 32 grams of protein. That's huge, and that's only $3.60. It's incredible. So if you need a fast food meal, like they call themselves casual fast or what, fast casual, whatever it is, but that's a heck of an option. So definitely consider that. We got one right over here, obviously, and one down on the west side of town. Um, Protein powders. Who's taking a protein powder currently? Okay, so I'm kind of here and there on protein powders because a lot of them seriously aren't worth it. They've gone through too much processing. The proteins are degraded and denatured. Like, your body can't use them as well. So it's really particular that you have to get a high quality protein. And I brought one that we sell. I'm going to have that available for you here to try as well, because I want you to have that. You know, just to see what that's like. And you can mix it with whatever. I'm just mix it with water. You're going to see how good it is just with water alone. So you'll check that out. And then when it comes down to it, recovery. Nothing works if you don't recover. So you got to sleep 8 hours, even probably closer to 10 hours for your guys' age right now. That's and what you're putting your bodies through. It's crucial. Every night that you don't get that, you create a deficit, and you never can really make that up. So you have to be very diligent about getting to bed on time, early, and just making that a habit for you guys. And then again, the creatine, mentioned that as far as recovery goes, because that's great for muscles. Collagen is another huge factor that can help speed up healing and recovery, especially with all the soft tissues. You're putting your body under a lot of strain with all the work that you're doing in the pool. Thankfully, it's not like a hard like pounding activity, but you're still putting a lot of strain on your muscles and joints. And collagen is extremely helpful. We have some more information for you about that on the website. So take this home. I send out a link to your parents as well in case this happens to get lost in the meantime. But we have a whole online store with all this stuff in there, and we're going to offer you guys 40% off through the rest of the season, actually through May 1st, for anything that you'd like. You know, we're happy to do that for you. That's our cost. And we just want you guys to have as much of the potential as possible to really take over. So that's all I got. And I'm always here for you as well. If you have any questions, you can just reach me through our office. And I included my phone number, my direct personal cell phone, on the message on the Sports U app. And so just reach out to me if you ever have any questions or your parents have any questions. I'm always here for you guys. So come on down, let's try some samples, and you guys can get on your way. I got the samples of the collagen, so you can try that, and as well as the protein powder. And try a meat stick too. Yeah.